Now, have you ever heard the saying, where focus goes, energy flows? Any self-development program, any self-development book or journey that you've been on, you more than likely would have heard that famous quote. And I think Tony Robbins maybe got it from Jim Rohn. But where focus goes, energy flows. And the reason I want to speak about that in this video is because one of the biggest traits that I have seen coaching, in myself, trading over the years, other traders across social media, is the focus is in the wrong area. And if energy is going to flow in the area that we put the most focus, it's going to work in a negative, it's going to work in a positive, in both directions, in any journey that we are on. And the number one problem and the number one trait that all traders have is that focus is on the P&L. The focus is on how much money can I make. And I know this because that was my focus for a very long time in trading. It's the focus of every new student that I coach. It's the focus of struggling traders. How much money can I make? So that's where your energy is going towards when it comes to trading. And you can't get anywhere in your trading journey. Why is it that Top Step make a 25 million revenue in a month and they pay out 10 and all these things are happening, and the prop firm space is very, very lucrative for prop owners? Because the focus from all people that start trading, definitely new traders, is on the P&L. And that's where the energy is flowing. So anytime they get paid from work, anytime they get a bit of extra money, they're buying a prop firm challenge. They think this is the golden ticket, the lottery, and I only need one good month to pass, and then I only need one good month to get me out of debt, or whatever it may be. All the energy is on the P&L and the money side of trading. Now, you'll soon realize, if you stay in trading for a long time, that that needs to shift. And your energy and your focus needs to then switch to the systems of how you're going to become a profitable trader. Yes, the P&L is the aim in the long run because you're in it to make money, but forever while you are attached to the monetary side of this, and that's where your energy is going to go, you're more than likely going to lose. There is not many traders, if any, that I know that solely just focus on the P&L all the time and not the systems and the processes that I'm going to speak about in this video. So if you are one of those traders, these are the types of videos that you should be taking notes, you should be sitting down, and you should be thinking to yourself is, yes, I need to shift the way that I think. So firstly, let's just start on the problem. You're chasing money because that's what's you think is going to solve the problems. And that's in any way that you go, any area you're chasing this. It could be e-commerce, it could be a job, it could be whatever it may be. All right. You're chasing the money because you think it's the money that's going to produce you what you actually want. It could be materialistic things, but a lot of my audience, they're looking for that freedom to spend time with their family. They're looking for a career change, etc., etc. Now, if the focus and the concentration is all on the monetary side of things, because we think that the monetary side of things is what's going to solve the problem, we're forever going to be chasing that. And we come from a state of lack. Now, if you've ever studied anything to do with you're coming from a lack of, once you start to understand it, it then makes sense. Because, of course, we're chasing something that we kind of want, or a goal, and we do lack that. But our concentration and our focus goes on that we lack it now, so we keep reaffirming that process and that subconscious belief within our own mindset. Again, that's for a neuro video, a deeper video. But going back to the chasing the monetary and the lack of, that's not going to solve the problem. That's not going to get you where you need to get to. Now, I've learned this not from trading and obviously from pro sports, but over the last couple of years, I've built a business around coaching, around mentoring, in not just trading, even though it's predominantly trading, but other areas in your life for you to get to where you need to get to. And what I've noticed is when I started that business journey was I was focusing on the wrong things rather than how to build the actual business and the process. And this leads me on to the way that you need to think as traders. You need to think as, how am I going to build a system that is going to then produce me the results that I want? And those results will be a P&L, a monetary. That will be the result in the end. But there are many, many steps before that where you get to the final kind of like end of the rainbow, as they say. If any of you are familiar with the Care Bears and you're around about an 80s baby, you probably remember at the end of the rainbow, we always thought there was gold. Now there is in trading, but you must understand that there is a system to get from one side to the other. There is a bridge that you must cross, and that bridge is your system. Now I systemized my trading, and that was the difference for me. So whatever strategy you've got to keep it very, very simple, and you've got to keep it in steps. So it is a system that compounds by keep doing the same thing time and time again. And the reason that you must have a system is because if you want to scale from, say, $100, your aim is $100, right? People have $100 for whatever reason, right? But eventually you want to scale, you won't be able to think about the monetary. Oh, well, I want to get to $1,000, because this will trigger emotional traits that you are just not ready for, or you don't have enough experience in dealing with those emotional traits. And another little caveat here is, the older you get, the harder it is to rewire the brain. So if you're of a similar age to me, I'm 45 years old. I'm at an age now where I had habits, and then it took me a while to rewire that brain. But if you're brand new into trading, or you're a struggling trader and you've never gone down the path of rewiring your brain, you have more habits, more traits, more belief systems that you need to rewire. Okay, so the advantages of being older when you get into trading, you've experienced life a little bit more, you understand patience, you understand, especially if you've got kids or anything like that. But the downside is you've got deeper rooted habits that you need to rewire. So if you're not great with money, if you don't understand money, if you don't use money to your advantage, if you have this thing where you're chasing because that you think that's going to be the answer, we need to bring it right down, start from scratch, and understand that it's all about the system. Now, my system is very, very simple. Actually, if you're watching this video, you may see it in time. On Monday, which is tomorrow, we're doing a 5-day challenge. Okay, we're doing a 5 days where each day I show you how I trade, all the steps, and then on the final day we put it all together, and that's how I trade. That's my system. I can do those types of videos and that type of challenge and trade that way because I've designed a system. That's what I've actually done. And that detaches me from the money. So whatever system you trade, whichever way you trade, right? All systems, if you've got enough data, they work, or strategies. But if you don't systemize that strategy, which then allows you to control the psychology, you're going to struggle, and you're going to keep chasing the P&L time and time again. Now, you might say, well, Fran, of course we're chasing the P&L, because that's why I'm in trading, because it's the money that's going to allow me to give the freedom to go on family holidays whenever I want, to pay for the whole bill for the whole family, instead of, these people that go halves and halves or whatever they mean. To stand up and start giving tips. That comes from money. But there is a system. And if you ever study business, if you ever study the top traders, if you ever study investors, they always speak about the systems. They never really speak about the monetary side of things. The monetary is just a byproduct of following a system. So again, if you are struggling and you are chasing P&Ls, you need to stop that. And what you need to chase, and this is the key part here, is you need to not chase is the wrong word. Your focus needs to go into the system. The energy needs to go into the system. Because if what you focus on, energy flows, guess what's going to happen? Your system is just going to keep producing, and then you're going to get the results that you want, which ultimately may be financial freedom or an extra $5,000-$10,000 a month for you to do what you need to do. That was the game changer for me within my trading journey. I was chasing the monetary side and chasing the candles and for years, and never really sat down and thought, this is actually a career, a profession. So I must treat it in any other profession that I would want to go in, whether that was sports for me, it may be engineers for you, it may be university lecturers. I have a lot of engineers, to be fair. It may be financial investment managers, which we have one of those. It may be personal PAs, financial PAs, whatever your industry, and you would have had to go down some sort of process and systemize what you was doing for you to get those final results. So in this short video, I just want you to take away that if you're concentrating on the P&L in trading, That's where the focus is going to go and the energy is going to flow, and you're going to ignore the processes and the systems to actually get to that point. Many of you have been in life, and I'm sure because I have, where you want money, you say you want money, you're chasing money, and the problem is you're just chasing the money. And there's no action plan or process or compounding effect for you to get to that point. And that's why you need to systemize the way that you are trading. So if you need any help in that, we are closing our mentorship on the 5th of December throughout January. We'll see where we are in February to concentrate on current students. So if that is something that you want to get involved in, do not waste your time. There's a minimal amount of spots left. Hit the link below. And if you want to get on the challenge, there's also a link below. But by the time you watch this video, the challenge may have already started.